Is the Knuckles series bad?
Wait.
Over the weekend, the Knuckles series has finally been released after its announcement all the way back in 2022. There have been so many thoughts on the Sonic spin-off following Knuckles' Echidna and Wade Ripple from the previous two movies. Knuckles is adjusting to Earth with his warrior-like lifestyle, which ended up getting him grounded, while Wade has been kicked out of his bowling team and feels like he can't prove himself. So Knuckles trains him to be like a warrior in bowling. Oh, this series is a roller coaster. Just not in the best way. I've seen a lot, and I mean a lot, of people saying that this is the worst Sonic series to be released, with people digging into the fact that Knuckles is barely in his own show. Do I think the same? Let's see. Knuckles, from the perspective of a chill, sit down and turn your brain off comedy series, is decent, but that's without the ties to the Sonic franchise. The episodes were thoroughly enjoyable, however, it did kind of lose me within the last few episodes. I'll get to why in a sec. Knuckles' character hasn't really changed. He's still amusing and fun to follow. That's when we're following him. Sonic, Tails and Maddie's small appearances are memorable and are portrayed accurately to what they're like in the movies. Apart from Sonic saying how great it is to be grounded and how much stuff you can do, when Sonic is a free of the wind kind of guy. That's kind of weird. This movie Sonic definitely seems more like a house cat than he does actual Sonic from the games.
Meow?
As Knuckles goes away to help Wade become a warrior and fight for his place on the bowling team after being grounded, there is a group trying to get Knuckles' power: Agent Mason, Agent Willoughby, and the Buyer, similar to Sonic and Eggman in Sonic 1. These people do not show up a lot. They show up nearly every episode, but they get minutes of screen time. The Buyer is barely in it, and the final fight is very underwhelming. These characters should have been the main plot for the show, but no. The main plot is Wade trying to reconnect with his father, who had abandoned him in a TJ Maxx. For my European audience, that is the American version of TK Maxx, which I find hilarious. Not his dad leaving him, but the fact is TK Maxx. Wade had been bowling for years to feel close to his departed father. Not dead, just left. And he wanted to go to the championships to try and meet him again. And when he does, it seems like all is well. He just welcomes him back with open arms. He catches up with him, and he competes against him in the championships. It seems like all is fine. Of course, his mother doesn't want him to get... Oh my god, I forgot the mother and sister. His mother is Jewish. Yeah, there's nothing else. But she does have a badass fight scene in a series about Knuckles. Speaking of where, can I talk about... Oh, Wade's sister. Wade's sister is just such a... She's so annoying. She stabs Wade with a fork! She constantly goes on about how she's part of the FBI, to the point where she dislocates her thumb to get out of handcuffs, while Wade has the key. Oh, she's infuriating throughout the entire series. Wade is dumb and the comic relief character. He's also the main character. He goes against his father in bowling after he rats him out to the people hunting Knuckles and holds his family for ransom. Oh yeah, you remember Knuckles? You know, the guy this whole series is supposed to be about? I haven't spoken about him for a while, so let's get to that. Knuckles starts off great, being the sole focus, following his energetic activities as well as his ignorance to try to adjust his life on Earth. He starts to learn what music is, and... the series is full of popular music, and I mean the most generic movie music. There is some rap in there, but I wish that they lent more into it, considering that that's Knuckles' themes in the games. Just like Sonic's theme was rock and Rouge's theme was jazz. But in the show, they put so much generic music in. They put so much generic music. Like, I Need a Hero for when there's a hero scene. Throughout the series, Knuckles gets closer to Wade and then disappears for a full episode. Oh, this episode. Okay, so Wade got captured by his best friend who had kicked him out of his bowling team since he was a bounty hunter. Oh yeah, Wade had a bounty put on his head after breaking Knuckles out of being captured. That's a whole nother thing. And while he's being taken, he's on the phone to Knuckles, in which he tells him to go to that great battleground in the sky. I thought that was heaven from the last movie, so I legit thought that Wade just straight up died in the series and they were just going to do it nonchalantly. I was so confused. But not as confused as I was about to get. The whole of episode 4 is a low budget musical.
Father, you can't leave me.
I won't, son. I never...
With Wade acting out Knuckles' origin that happened off screen, I genuinely wish we saw that. Maybe more than even this series. But as the musical goes on, some massive news drops saying that Knuckles fought Iblis. Now, if you did not play Sonic 06 or know anything about the Sonic games, number 1, what are you doing here? Number 2, What's it like watching the Sonic movies without any prior knowledge? Kind of curious. Anyway, in Sonic 06, the main villain that they're trying to prevent is Iblis. Silver comes back from a destroyed future to try and kill Sonic as he believes he is the Iblis trigger. In other words, he's the one who thinks that he causes Iblis in the future. Now, Sonic 06 with its whole time traveling stick made it so the whole game never really happened. So Iblis never existed. But anyway, if Iblis is shown to be a previous threat in the Sonic movies, this might be some bad news. But I think he's been wasted and he's not going to be appearing on the big screen anytime soon. This episode had the least amount of Knuckles in it, but I think it was the best when it came to building up his character, even when he wasn't there. Oh, but for the rest of the series, he just takes a back seat. He wears this hat for a total 2 or 3 scenes. There's a part where you think Knuckles is going to get betrayed by Wade. However, they show that Wade actually prepared for Knuckles for what was about to happen. Could it have been a good story point? Yeah, Knuckles being betrayed again could have been a great story point. However, I do like that they showed that Wade and Knuckles can trust each other and work together. I think that was a decent scene. Knuckles then fights and I'm pretty sure kills the agents. Since he put them through 2 ring portals that connected in the same room, then the rings got destroyed. Huh? Where could they have gone? Come out one ring portal and you just go straight into the other one. If they're both not there, they don't exist. Where did they go? I don't know why I'm seeing no one talk about this. Anyway, Knuckles fights the buyer, and it plays out very similarly to how Sonic Movie 1 ended, with Knuckles knocked out, Wade trying to attack the villain, then a whole speech about this is his home, just like Tom said, and he was my friend, in Sonic Movie 1. Then Knuckles defeats him within 30 seconds. It then cuts to the bowling championship commentators, where they just drop the most bizarre Easter egg out of place in this entire series. In fact, might be the most out of place Easter egg in the whole of movies ever. One of them says that nothing like this has ever happened before. Then the other one corrects him saying, oh, something similar happened in 1974. Now 1974 was 50 years ago. Sound familiar? That might have been Shadow the Hedgehog. Now Shadow is normally in space, however these movies do like to change things up, so I do believe that he did come down to Earth at some point and did something in 1974 apparently. But that was the only tease for Shadow the Hedgehog in the whole Knuckles series. That was the closest tease we've got for Sonic Movie 3. The post-credit scene is just Knuckles on a motorbike with Wade listening to music. That is it. But hey, the series wasn't all bad. I like the dynamic between Knuckles and Wade. Knuckles goes from a kid and a warrior with no home to then embracing Earth as his home. The series is fun, definitely felt more goofier, and they should have added more focus on Knuckles. However, I'm not scared for Sonic Movie 3 like some others are. I think that this is just a little setback, and what they have for the movie is actually going to be so insane. This series wasn't directed by Jeff Fowler, who directs the Sonic movies, and also worked on Shadow the Hedgehog, the game. So I think Sonic Movie 3 is in safe hands. You can calm down. Anyway, this series isn't perfect by all means. It definitely isn't perfect by all means, but the fighting and the dynamics in the series is pretty good. There are things that I have not mentioned, so if you haven't seen the Knuckles series, I do recommend going watching it. It's pretty enjoyable, pretty good. Turn off and just watch. It's pretty chill. I think you guys should watch it. But in the end, I give the Knuckles series a 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. It's pretty average for a comedy series, but pretty low for a Sonic movie. But I don't think I should have rated it any lower. Thank you for listening to my Knuckles series review. Comment down. And make sure to subscribe to stay updated with the news, rumors, and reviews.